Hey guys, what's going on? So as promised, those of you that saw my thank you video I put up on Instagram and Facebook, here's my little tell-all video for pretty much what's been going on the last 3 years through my whole weight loss transformation. So I know some of you have obviously just started following me on Instagram and everything. You obviously didn't know me from before, so I'm going to give you a little bit of backstory just so that way, you know, you kind of just all makes sense, it all kind of ties together. So it's not like all of a sudden I was just this, you know, just fat person that just all of a sudden lost weight. You can kind of see how it went from there. So anyways, so I grew up in a small southern town. I was never really like a really fat kid. I mean, I was a little chubby, a little chunky, but you know, I was always in the, you know, the husky genes, or you know, I was, you know, big boned or whatever, you know. So it wasn't really that bad until basically about middle school. Middle school, when I started going through puberty and all that, that's when, you know, obviously I started growing up and out. So, you know, so that was kind of a big issue. Now, you know, that pretty much went on, and there was some yo-yo dieting and stuff in there. I mean, I tried like everything from, you know, the shakes to the pills to the drinks to, you know, like an all-protein diet, to just pretty much everything that was on the market. Like at that time, I was doing whatever I could to try to get the weight off. I'd also been diagnosed with hypothyroidism. So of course I was taking my, you know, my thyroid medication, you know, with that, and you know, that was obviously one of the big reasons for me putting on so much weight. But you know, even that, it was basically, you know, it was maintaining, it was keeping my thyroid levels where they're supposed to be, but other than that, it wasn't really helping, you know, obviously get rid of all of this. So basically 3 years ago, I'd had enough. Like, there was really no reason for me to lose the weight except for the fact that I wanted to lose it. I wasn't losing it for somebody, I wasn't losing it for some cause. Other than like my joints and stuff, I really wasn't losing it for my health benefits, because like all of my health numbers were always good. Like my blood pressure has always been good, my cholesterol has always been good. It's the only issue I've ever had medically because of my weight was my thyroid. So as far as obviously risk of heart attack and like that, I mean, there wasn't even really that going on, which, you know, as big as I was, is kind of like a medical marvel. But at the same time, you know, for like a side note, that would also be, you know, one of the reasons for me to get off, but that wasn't the main reason. The main reason is because I just wanted to get off. I was miserable. And obviously if you see any pictures, like one of my favorite ones to kind of compare is the picture from my sister's wedding. Obviously I'm, you know, in that just, you know, really tight, you know, button down, you know, shirt. And thing is, that shirt really wasn't that tight. I mean, that was like a, you know, 3X, and it was still that tight. I mean, obviously, I mean, even tucking me, you could just kind of see everything going on. And I mean, look at my face and everything, I was literally just miserable. So that was just kind of, you know, a little bit after that was when I just said, I'm done. I've got to change, and I've got to do it for me, because I was just, you know, physically, mentally, everything, I was just a miserable person. So for me to change, and you know, this is something that obviously it's not like I'm recommending it. It's not like I'm telling you this is what you've got to do. I'm just telling you what I did and what worked for me. So if it helps you or anything, then that's great, but I'm not saying that this is what you need to do. I'm not trying to sit here and be your doctor, your dietitian, and tell you that, you know, this is what you're going to have to do to lose weight, because it's just what worked for me. So, obviously I went and saw a dietitian. I went and saw the health clinic in Gastonia, North Carolina. And luckily I had one of those, the InBody scales. I'm not sure if, you know, anybody has, you know, if one of y'all have kind of seen those or used them. I mean, I know they have them like in the Nutri shops now and stuff. But basically it's a scale that you get on, and it sends an impulse through your body. You're holding on to 2 sensors with your hands. Obviously, you're standing on 2 sensors on the bare feet, and basically it sends a pulse through your body, and it gives you a readout of, you know, your muscle percentage, your body fat percentage, you know, how much your weight is attributed to your bones. I mean, basically it kind of breaks your weight completely down. That way, you know, okay, so I need to lose this much, you know, body fat, versus, you know, all of this weight is body fat. It actually tells you that no, some of that weight is muscle, which, you know, as you're losing weight is a big help, because then it makes you see that, you know, even if the scale says one number and you go back the next day and you've gained, you know, you can use that scale and see that obviously, okay, well, I gained muscle. So as far as like for losing weight, that was like one of the big key things for me, because that was one thing I struggled with before, was the fact that, I would see the number on the scale go up, when I was working out, and I wouldn't realize that, okay, well, obviously I'm a big kid, so even working out, on top of whatever weight I'm lifting, I'm also lifting my body weight. So you're going to build muscle, and usually the bigger you are, you're going to build muscle pretty quick, because there again, you're not just lifting those weights, you're lifting your body weight on top of that. So anyways, got a little off track there, going back. So I got with a dietitian and started going to that health clinic using scales, and they actually cut me back to a 1,000 to 1,200 calorie a day diet, which, let me tell you, that was a struggle, especially that first month. That first month was rough getting onto that, purely because I was used to 1,000 to 1,200 calories. That was like either one meal. I could at least sit down and eat that for a snack. That was like nothing. So for me to actually break that down and apart into a whole day, that was kind of ridiculous, at least in my head at the time. But that was one thing I decided that I'm going to do it. I'm basically going to more or less quit food cold turkey, and I'm going to go down this diet, and this is what I'm going to do. So that's what I did. It was like I said, that first month was awful. I felt rough, and it wasn't like a sick rough. It was just obviously I felt like I'd made myself more miserable, but I was doing it for a goal. So on top of getting down that diet, I also started doing 2-a-days at the gym. Luckily, I just worked about 5 minutes away from the Planet Fitness in Gastonia at Splon Amplification. Give them a little shout out. Give Scott Splon for being an awesome boss and letting me go do that. So on my lunch breaks, I would go and work out and do my cardio on lunch, and then come back and work the rest of the day, and then go back that night and do my lifting. So then on top of that, usually my daily diet was I'd usually do a protein shake in the morning for breakfast. I'd do a 100 calorie snack for lunch. I'd do another protein shake, obviously, when I got back from working out. Then I'd do another 100 calorie snack pack, between lunch and dinner. And then usually for dinner, I got into where I'd found the healthy choice over the Stouffer's, the steamer bowls that they're doing now. Those had just gotten really big when I started all this. So, that was like, really a godsend, because it was really a whole meal in a bowl. You just, I know it's a microwave meal, but it was, the steamed vegetables, steamed chicken, stuff like that. So it was at least healthier, and it was something, quick and easy I could do, versus trying to, meal prep and stuff at the time, because I was actually working 2 jobs. I was working at Splon. I was also doing production work, traveling around and doing, setting up, sound stages and lighting, all kinds of stuff like that, running bands. So, of course, being on that same kind of diet, that was something that was easy for me to take around with me too. So, when I was on the road on the weekends and stuff, that was, taking the shakes and the snacks and, like the meals like that, they were easy to just throw in a cooler and take with you. And that was the biggest thing, was something I could do for that versus going out, when I was out on those nights, and, eating out every night while I was on the road and stuff like that. So that was pretty much my diet for a year and a half. Pretty much up until the time I moved out here to Nashville. That was what I ate like every day religiously. And there for the first couple months, like, I didn't even have a cheat meal. Like, if I did go out, I would go out and I would usually order off of the healthier choice menus at the restaurants there. Again, to either get like the fish or like all the steamed vegetables, stuff like that, pretty much anything 500 calories or under, just because I was just that determined that I was done. I was not going to be that big ever again. So luckily, by doing that, I started seeing results. And obviously, of course, once you start seeing results, it just makes everything like that so much easier. Just let me tell you, obviously, like I said, I yo-yo dieted like pretty much my whole life up until this point. So I was so used to like losing 20, 30 pounds and gaining back and more. So the fact that I was actually losing and keeping it off, that was the biggest thing, like the biggest motivation I could have. It didn't matter like how much anyone else told me, how much better I looked or how much, healthier looking. That didn't matter to me. Like, what mattered to me is the fact that I could see it. Because, like I said before, even with all that, obviously that was the thing is, anybody could tell me that I was looking better, it was working, or but if I didn't see the results, then to me, it wasn't working. And obviously being that big for that long, that's something that had obviously gotten just stuck in my head. And which I'll even tell you now, that's something I still struggle with. And I'm just going to go ahead and, I'm not going to, try to, butter it up. I'm not going to try to, smooth it over, anything like that. I mean, if you do lose a lot of weight, and especially like as much as I did and stuff, I mean, and you were as big as I was for that long, at least, coming from me, that's something I still struggle with. I still struggle with that self-image. I still struggle, with seeing how much I've changed. I mean, there's still days when I look at myself and I feel just as bad as I did when I weighed so much. And that's just something that obviously, I mean, it's going to take, this wasn't just a weight loss journey, this was a complete lifestyle change. And that's the biggest part of it, is it's going to be a lifestyle change, which means you do it for the rest of your life, which means this is how you're going to live. And that's something that, it's going to take that much time for it to get in your head. That, you've done this, that you've completed this, and, some people, it, takes, literally years before they figure out that, and then they can accept that, okay, yeah, I do look better, I do feel better. And for me, I have those days where I am one of those people that, like I said, I mean, I still struggle with that self-image and everything. There's some days, I'll stand in front of the mirror and I just, I don't feel like I've gotten far at all, when in reality now I look back at pictures and stuff, I mean, it kind of snaps back, okay, yeah, you've gotten somewhere. Today just is a bad day, but you've gotten somewhere. So just like anything else, you're going to have those bad days. So that's one thing I just want to kind of, that's one encouragement thing I want to tell everybody, is just like, no matter what, just kind of keep pushing. As long as you're seeing results, even if you have a bad day, even if you feel like it's, not working today, just kind of keep pushing through it. Cause I mean, and like, this is more of a personal note from me, but, and this is something that, I thought that I would likely never do or never explain, except for like for those who are really close to me. But, like, even though obviously, I mean, like I said, I lost 250 pounds. So with that, of course, not everything ended up the way that I thought it would. It's not like I went from, almost 450 pounds down to just this like ripped, just, just literally just shredded, guy. Obviously, I mean, it took, like I said, took 2 years to get it off, and I've been, keeping it off for a year now and trying to get the physique that I want. But, I'll just go ahead and like, even like right now, like right here, this is something that, like the stomach area, all this extra stuff, that's something I struggle with every day, because this is something that even though, yeah, it's empty and yeah, it's just here, it just hangs, the problem is it's still there. So that's one thing that like, that really kind of affects my self-image on that, is the fact that obviously it didn't go anywhere. It's still there. Obviously it's empty now. There's nothing in it. It's just like loose and extra skin and tissue, but, obviously where I was so big, but, and it, it just kind of, it's just a reminder that I used to be that big, and it's something that obviously I want gone, which I've been to, several health professionals about it, and it's something that I'm going to have to get removed. It's something that I'm not going to be able to just lose on my own. It's pretty much there. It's literally stressed out and everything enough that it's going to have to be removed. So that's one thing I'm working on right now, is trying to obviously get the funds to get that done, because this is one thing, just right here that just kind of makes me feel like the journey's not quite complete. But at the same time, obviously I'm still seeing results as far as going to the gym and everything. I'm seeing results as far as my arms tightening up. I'm seeing results with my legs. Obviously, everything else is coming into shape. So as long as I'm seeing something, I can keep pushing through. Even, like I was saying before, even on those bad days, at least I'm seeing something. So I know I kind of rambled a little bit here. I was just trying to, get everything put into this without it, taking forever, without it being some just, big cinematic production. So if you have any other questions or anything you'd like to ask, anything kind of personal you'd like to even talk about or whatever, obviously, I mean, my inbox is always open. Just find me on Instagram, Facebook, anything like that. If you're seeing this on, YouTube or whatever, if someone shared it to you, obviously, just come and find me. Just as Jason Nantz, obviously look for the hair. I mean, kind of a dead giveaway. But yeah, so I just kind of wanted to go through that and just kind of wanted to give a little bit of backstory on kind of what I've been doing the past 3 years, kind of my process and how I got to where I am. and basically, give a little bit of encouragement and give a little bit of, something real, basically, to where it's not just, I'm sitting here pumping myself up, or I'm sitting here trying to sell you something, or I'm sitting here trying to basically tell you that you need to change your lifestyle, anything like that. That's, kind of why I threw that little personal touch in there, is to let you know that even though I've gone as far as I have and everything, also, there's still things I'm not completely happy with. There's still things I've got to finish on my own, and still some things I got to take care of. And that it's not this perfect process, and it doesn't matter how you go about it. It's not like, if you don't see the results, or don't get the results that you think you're going to get, or that you think you kind of deserve with what you're putting your body through and everything else, it's not the end of the world. That obviously, obviously with me, there's going to be some things that obviously don't work out. We're all human. So, things don't always go as planned. So just because you're not seeing the exact results you want doesn't mean you're not getting results. So as long as you see something, just keep pushing. That's pretty much the main thing I want to get out of this, and want to tell you guys. So just thank you again for all your support, and all the likes, shares, comments, everything like that. There again, if you have any questions or anything that you'd like to even talk about, or just find me on Facebook, Instagram, message me, and just thank you again, guys.